What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. I know that I have kind of been MIA for a little bit, but it's been so cold outside that if I bring any of my devices, they freeze and die. So I am back. I'm actually using my camera. I got this Sony Alpha 6000. I think that's the correct terminology, but I'm loving it. The picture quality is amazing and I can finally capture photos that Joey will allow me to take. Thank you, good camera. But yes, I am back and today I am going to talk to you about a topic that I find is very sensitive for some women, but I can say that I was one of those women because it's a subject that you talk about when you're older, and I'm older, and yes, anyways, it's about pregnancy. I am not pregnant. I did post a Instagram photo the other day talking about ginger and how I was nauseous, but I'm not pregnant. I am going to talk about preparing for pregnancy. Joey and I are getting married this year. It's finally 2018 and he's got some serious baby fever. I must admit, so do I. A couple of our friends have just recently had babies and it's like we want them yesterday. But it is important to prepare ourselves as much as we can so that when we do try to conceive a baby, that it is the healthiest baby possible. We're not striving for perfection at all. We just want to make sure that our bodies are prepared for such an amazing event in our lives. So I don't know why. Actually, let me dive into this. I'm trying to question myself as to why I would feel like talking about pregnancy is so intimidating, or it's kind of like a hush-hush subject. I guess why I've kind of kept it quiet, or like when I wanted to talk to Joey about it, I, refrained from speaking about it, is because it's always been a thought in my mind that, oh, one day Joey and I will talk about it and we'll plan to have a baby. But now that the time has come, I've kind of gotten a little intimidated by the idea of talking about it. I'm not afraid of having a child. I guess it comes down to the whole thing of back in our relationship, I talked to Joey briefly one time about getting married. This was like way long ago, like a long time ago, and I don't blame him because we were so young and new in our relationship, but I had talked to him about getting married. I wasn't like, you need to put a ring on it, but he kind of responded in the way like, I don't want to talk about this. So it's kind of been the same thing about babies, but I chose to be that way. Joey's always been on the idea of having kids, and that's my choice, but I know that's why I've refrained from talking about kids. But at the same time, it's such a huge decision to want to have kids, and your life completely changes, and I'm not afraid of the change. It's just a huge decision to make, and I know it'll be the best one possible. Kind of being intimidated to talk about it, which I'm getting out of my comfort zone and talking to you about it now, so I feel a whole lot better, and it's going to be live to the world. So I'm allowing myself to be vulnerable and to grow from it. So if anybody else is out there and is feeling the same as me, please reach out to me because I would love to talk to you. And we can be in this together. Pretty moms to the world. Another reason I have pondered with the idea of having a family young, I know I'm 26, I'll be 27 this year, but you could have asked me like 3 years ago if I wanted to have kids, and it was like, I want to have them yesterday. But then I actually had made some career choices that I really invested my time in, and I want to continue to do that. And I felt like at that time, when I was going through those programs, I felt that if I had kids like soon after, that I wouldn't be able to grow as an entrepreneur. And I'm at that stage right now that being a holistic nutritionist, I can't force anybody to want to improve their nutrition or their well-being or whatever it may be. Talking about that with Joey, it was so back and forth, like, yes, I do, but no, I don't. And really, it's just my ego getting in my way of saying, oh, if I wait to have kids, I'm going to be so much more successful. And that's so not true. I've never been an entrepreneur before up until now, and it's not anything that I had pictured it to be. It's a lot of hard work, and I love the hard work because I'm passionate about it. And yoga too, like I could do that at any time. Nutrition, I could do that at any time. So really, what am I talking and complaining about? It's so stupid. So that leads me to where I am now. I've been decluttering our house, not in a minimalist type of way, but removing plastics and unnecessary materials. Not that we have a whole lot of toxicity in our home. We do live a very holistic lifestyle, but being on the road, traveling like this, there's a lot of things that are already left at the house, like the one that we're living in now. So it's just getting rid of those and selecting organic food choices. Like I said, we do that already, but it's being extra mindful to prepare my body to be as clean and prepared to conceive a baby, if we can do such a thing, so that if there is a little bun in the oven, that they get the best shot at life. So I'm going to show you what I am doing to do that, and it's mainly through food and supplementation at the moment. But yes, I will show you what I'm getting into and why and how I'm feeling. Okay, so this is what I'm taking. These are prenatal vitamins. They are New Chapter. It's a really good company. Folic acid for insurance of any birth defects. I'm not pregnant, but I'm taking it before, as that is a recommendation. It is just good insurance. It's a B vitamin, so it's okay. And I'm taking a good quality omega-3 supplement. This is also really good for myself, for my brain, skin, any inflammation, balancing my hormones. So that is good as a pre-pregnancy supplement when I get pregnant. This is so good for the development of the baby's brain. I also take a B complex. This is so good for metabolizing proteins, carbs, and fats. So that is just insurance. A vitamin D supplement, but that is so good for maintenance of my bones, teeth, has anti-cancer properties, but because there's a lack of sunlight here, but of course today the sun is shining bright, this is so good for giving the vitamin D. So yes, I'm taking those every single day. It is essential to me and I feel great. I do it because I care. So that's what I'm taking. I know Joy takes a men's multivitamin. I got him that for Christmas. And he also takes the omega-3, which is great for his career. More importantly, that's why I got it for him, because there's so much inflammation and he's had lots of injuries. So keeping down the inflammation and to balance out his hormones too. Yeah, so hopefully that is enough. I'm not pushing supplements like crazy, but as insurance to make sure my body is getting enough and Joy's body's getting enough, this is what we're doing. And yeah, it feels pretty nice. I kind of feel giddy doing this kind of thing. I know it's just taking supplements and I'm just playing a mind game with myself, but it's fun doing this and making sure that I'm taking care of myself extra for the hopes that one day there'll be a little bean in the oven. It's fun. It's kind of cool. And anytime we see a pregnant lady, Joy's like, there's a pregnant woman. It's so funny. I'll show you the smoothie I made. We have a lack of groceries at our house, so this is all I got. But it is so creamy. It has got probably a cup of frozen blueberries, a teaspoon of spirulina, a teaspoon of organic cinnamon, an organic source of protein, a banana, flaxseed, and coconut oil. So it's got lots of antioxidants, which is so good. Healthy fats. Yeah, so lots of good stuff. And fiber too, keeps on digestion. So if you have followed me on Instagram, I had a smoothie bowl yesterday and in my story I had posted a photo and it's all over my mouth. It goes to show how much I love my smoothies, especially in a smoothie bowl form. There's just something about having toppings and you get to choose the topping that you're gonna take in the spoonful. So it is so good, but I had like blueberries all over my mouth and it stains like crazy. Like I have to scrub my mouth in order to get it off and my teeth are almost like stained purple. It's so good. Honestly, it's something I look forward to every morning, knowing that I'm gonna get a tasty meal that is full of nutrient dense foods into my system, and it's just so fun. I really enjoy making smoothie bowls or smoothies that are different concoctions because it allows me to bring out my creative side, but it's fun to mix and match knowing what each ingredient has to offer and how it will benefit my body, and it's just my way of being an artist. Another practice that I have been integrating even more into my daily life is physical activity. And I've always been so active, excuse me, from like a young age, playing sports, and I love a vigorous workout, like a crazy sweat. But I've been paying more attention to smaller groups of muscles like pelvic floor, especially with being a yoga coach. It's more specific and cueing the body to use specific areas in your body to stabilize. So I've been doing lots of that, but I've been using workouts with the lack of equipment that we have at our house. And I've been doing that almost every day. I actually feel a huge difference and the burn feels amazing. So I'll show you what I'm doing for a workout. Today will probably be a little bit more of a full body workout. and just in our home, so it's super easy, and I'll just put it in the description box below. But yes, Joey's teammate is coming over for a haircut today, and before them, Abby and I are gonna go for a walk with his wife and dog Brady. He's a cute little Bichon Frise, so we gotta bundle them up because it's very cold. Like super cold, but it's so pretty outside. Honestly, I've said this so many times on my Instagram, that is probably my favorite view of all the seasons that I've experienced so far. So like bundles of snow, or it's green and the chimneys are going, like it's amazing. But yes, let's get to food because I'm starving, and I'm going to guzzle up some water. It is the ginger concoction that I have described on Instagram. It's so good and so easy. If you don't follow me on Instagram, I will link it here. But all I do is I take a solid piece of ginger. It's usually like 4 inches. I chop it up, not into small pieces, but just into like an inch, and place that in the blender with about 2 cups of water and blend it on high. Strain it through a strainer and squeeze out the pulp because there's usually extra juice. And then I put that ginger water into a glass jar, and I use that as my morning water just to wake up digestion and, you know, ease it. So that's what it looks like. Honestly, excuse me, that's gross. It's so refreshing. My skin feels so good, and I've been having some really good bouts of digestion, but I can't say that I have poor digestion anyways, because I really do eat a clean, easy, digestive friendly diet. Not necessarily a diet. I'm not categorizing my food as a specific diet. It is easy on the stomach, and yeah. So if you haven't done this yet, you gotta do it. It's so delicious. When I did have that couple of days with nausea, I would drink that and instantly it would go away. So it is a true testament that real food does work. So don't knock it until you try it. So I'm gonna finish up that, eat some food before I take my daily supplements, and we will continue with the day. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do the workout before or after our walk, but either way, you'll get to see what I do. Okay, so it is the next day, and the reason I did that was because my day turned into having a little bit more than I thought it would. So, and it was super cold, so I didn't want to bring out my camera because it just freezes and dies, and just not good. So, in addition to taking the prenatal vitamins and folate and omegas and vitamin D and a B vitamin, my diet is the main source of nutrition that I'm focusing on, getting really organic foods, as organic as much as possible. and focusing on maintaining blood sugar levels so my energy is balanced and my hormones are balanced. So complex source of carbohydrates like whole sprouted grains and produce like sweet potatoes that give balanced sources of energy, like keep you fueled without fluctuating your blood sugar too much. So I am integrating greens almost at every meal. In my smoothies, I add the spirulina. For lunch, it's either like a sandwich with greens or a salad loaded with dark leafy greens because they provide lots of rich nutrients that are essential for detoxification and making sure that I'm getting the nutrients my body needs in order to function optimally. So if there's any sort of waste that's in my body and needs to be rid, then giving my body the nutrients that it needs can do so. So number one for me is prenatal vitamins. Number two is making sure that my nutrition is on point. Number three is ensuring that I have healthy fats. And I do this because I was in grade 12 and it was the first day of my period and I was in such excruciating pain. I couldn't see. My hands would lock like this. I thought I was gonna vomit. I thought I was gonna poo at the same time. I was sweating profusely and I was in so much pain. I had that incident happen like once a year for 3 years, and I know that it's food related. So if my daily intake of food has less fat and a little bit more of sweetness, then the next period that I'm gonna get is just gonna be brutal. So I make sure that I have healthy fats to make sure that my hormones are balanced. Hashtag girl life. That is important to me and I need to do that, otherwise I'm lights out. So I'm always adding fats to meals. Number three is making sure that our foods are organic as possible, just to make sure that our bodies aren't blasted with all the nasty pesticides and additives and chemicals. And of course, we're reading the labels to make sure that we're getting the most simplest ingredients in each food so that we are giving our bodies the nutrients that it needs and not additional shittiness. And number four is reducing our footprint in waste. So plastics, avoiding those if we can in grocery stores. And we always bring reusable bags to the grocery store, so we're not using extra ones. We're just trying to be mindful of what our imprint is on the environment and also what our bodies are coming into contact with, so we're not adding pro-estrogenic effects on the body, and I don't want that because then that may be challenging for me to get pregnant. So we're reducing our waste as much as possible, cleaning out our home from toxic waste, so alternating the traditional sources of cleaning supplies for holistic supplies. And number five is definitely self-care. I have always had this idea that I do take care of myself, but now paying attention to the needs of my body, I'm aware that I wasn't really setting aside time to increase self-care routines. So self-care for me is personal hygiene, so like oil pulling. If you follow me on Instagram, again, you'll see in my stories that I have a highlight that's for oil pulling. Just taking care of myself, taking care of my skin, taking care of my energy. So before bed, I will go early into our room, turn on our diffuser, and crawl into bed and read a book. And right now I'm reading The Conversations from the Super Soul Sunday from Oprah Winfrey, and it's really good. But yes, just doing self-care, little things, and I am finding more connection to how I'm feeling, and that's really important. Which also connects to being intuitive, just following what your body needs. Honestly, it is so good to just paying attention. Your body knows what it wants, and that is a true indicator that we should listen. Those are my 5 prenatal musts that I am following. If anybody is preparing themselves for such a time in their lives, connect with me. I would love to talk to you. I think it's the coolest subject ever. Now that I'm stepping out of my comfort zone and actually talking about it. So please reach out to me. You can find me on Instagram. Comment below. Yeah, I'd love to talk to you. I think it'd be so fun to talk about things and see what you're doing, what you're taking. If you have any questions, I can help clarify those with you. So if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up because that will give me an indication that you like these videos and I should do more of them. And if you haven't subscribed, do so you can get notifications on my upcoming videos. Thanks for watching. See you in my next video. Bye. Can I get a high five? High five. Come on, high five. Oh, yeah. You're a good girl.